So good morning, guys. I'm in Arizona, which is really cool because it's 9 o'clock and the same time as Sal. It's kind of neat to be talking so early in the morning. I just kind of wanted to talk about summer marketing today. And I got on this conversation with Paul Garcia the other day because Paul has recommended to his group of people that everyone does a 6-week program for summer. And he goes, I really like it. And so I said, how much money does a 6-week program generate? Because you have the 6-week, and then you have some people who convert, some people who don't convert. And he goes, I don't really know. He says, I'm going to look into that. And I was talking to Tom Baker. Tom Baker doesn't do 6 weeks. He does $29.95 per week. So if a student comes in and they're going to be gone half the summer, so they buy 4 weeks, they can do 2 weeks now, take a couple weeks off, do 2 more weeks, and that's the way he does it. He's very successful. I asked his son John the other day, how did you do last year with your $29.95? He told me that they did 80 students between May, June, and July. Summer starts early here in Arizona. The kids get out of school in probably 3 more weeks. So they get out early May. So he did 80 people on the $29.95. You got 70% or 56 people to convert to regular students. So I think that's a huge accomplishment in summertime. So what I did today is I got up a little early and I just started putting some numbers together because I said people are going to want to do either 6 weeks because that's a popular thing. We have some people doing 6 weeks for $69. We have some people doing 6 weeks for $199. I've got a client in Florida. He does 6 weeks for $297 because he wants to keep the price point high. So those are all options I see. And then we got Tom Baker with his $29.95 a week. So I know these numbers aren't in stone. I think it'll give you a good idea. And then you have to kind of decide what you're comfortable with. And I kind of started thinking of this as a result. I was watching someone's video the other day, and they were talking about summer. And they say summer is not a slow time of year. I'm going to argue a little with that. Summer is a slow time of year because you just have to go to someone like Rainmaker or a billing company and say, how many contracts do you get throughout the different months? And it's just a weighted average that because especially July and July 4th and people off for the first week, July is a slower month than others. But it doesn't have to be slow if you increase your marketing. So in other words, if you're used to doing this much marketing to get 20 students, and I'm okay, now July is going to be slow. Now I'm going to have to do this much marketing. So you're going to have to increase your bucket. So it doesn't have to be slow. You just have to be more aggressive. And I'm going to talk about marketing after we talk about this. So with the 6-week plan, the whole idea with the 6 weeks is to get them in at $69, a low price point, and then I want to convert them after 2 weeks. So the whole idea is we're going to set up a progress and goal check. We're going to do it 2 weeks later, and then we're going to give them an incentive to convert to a regular program at that time. So it's sort of a bait and switch. We're going to bait them in. We're going to get a lot of people at this, and then we're going to switch them or convert them to a regular program. Usually we do that by saying at 2 weeks, if you continue your 6 weeks, at the end of the 6 weeks, this is the program. I'm just going to use some numbers. It's $200 down, and then it'll be 5 payments of $150. However, if you know you want to do it and you want to do it now, I'm going to waive the down payment. So we'll convert this program into the regular program, and I'm going to waive the down payment. So a lot of people like to do that. I think for doing that, you almost have to have a program director in a separate office to talk to people because you're going to get in some type of discussion. And sometimes that's tough if you're talking to your front counter and just recently signed up this person. They had to do a down payment, and now you're waiving it for this person. So I'm just saying, if you did 20 people in June, that'd be $1,400 that you would take in on the $69 each. If you convert 10 in July, 5 paid in full, and then the other people are on incentive, you do $4,000 in down payments, and starting in August, it'll be $750 increase to your monthly recurring billing. Well, again, this type of plan. Not bad. You get pretty good money in June. Not great, but pretty good money. July, since you're being aggressive and you're talking to them right away, and we're saying, okay, I'm trying to get 5 people to do down payments and 5 people to pay in full. July is pretty nice. You're taking in $4,000 in down payments and paid in fulls, and your billing check will increase $750 in August. If you did the other plan, the $199 to the $299 for the 6 weeks, we're not going to try to do the fast conversion. So people are going to do that. They're almost paying full price. So you're not going to convert them till they're done with the 6 weeks, which probably happened in August. Well, you do take in a lot more money since you're charging more for the course. Even if you only get 15 people, you should gross between $3,000 and $4,500 in June. That's a nice increase. Again, July is not going to make any difference because you're not going to convert them in July. You only convert them in August. So say we convert half of them. So you do $2,100 down. And starting in September, you increase your billing by $1,000. So that's sort of the numbers you can expect. If you followed the Baker's lead on this and did $29.95, with a real low price point like $29.95, I wouldn't buy their school yesterday. Their windows are already done. Summer martial arts, $29.95. It doesn't say a week. It just says summer martial arts, $29.95. They're in a shopping center with good walk by. A lot of people come in and ask about their program. If you did 25 people in June, and even if they again, I said June because most people are going to start their summer marketing after school's out, so it could be June. Assuming they get 25 people, and people signed up for 2 weeks each, that'd be $1,500 that you would do in June. July, you have 4 weeks, so now you're going to do $3,000. If you convert 15 in August, that'd be $3,000 in down payments, and your September billing is $2,250. So I can't tell you what to do. I think if I was going to do it this summer and I had a school, I really liked the $29.95. Real easy sale. You can even put them on just a weekly billing. I know Tom here in Arizona, it gets really hot in Arizona. A lot of parents ship their kids back to the grandparents or a sleepaway camp, something like that. So kids are gone for a couple weeks. Really easy on the parents. They're paying the $29.95. If they stop for a couple of weeks, they're not paying, and then they come back and they're paying again. Your third option is, I'm not going to do any summer program. I'm going to just stay the course. So I'm going to only enroll 11 people in June. Well, that's not really too bad either, because if you just stay the course, you're not signing up as many people, but you actually make more money. You stay the course and you get 10 people in June, 5 people give you a deposit, that's $1,000, 5 people pay in full, and now you say, okay, I'm not doing anything special, anything slick, I'm just putting people on a regular program, and I'm going to do $6,000. July may be a little bit slower, but financially, staying the course makes a lot of sense. So those are your different options. Again, any type of summer program, it's all about promotion, which we'll talk about next. And it's really changing your belief. It doesn't have to be slow. I'm just going to have to work a little harder. We got Neil on. Neil's my friend from down in Florida. He's got a beautiful school, really colorful. He just had it painted, so good to see you, sir. So now we'll start thinking about marketing opportunities. Marketing opportunities, I know everyone loves social media. They like to do their website. They like to do different groups on social media. Neil's doing a May the 4th Be With You campaign, and he's doing a social event at his school. He's doing 2 ones, one for younger kids and one for older kids. It's a free community event. He's all over social media. He's on Macaroni Kids, things like that, advertising this. And so that's a great way to do marketing. Talking to Tom Baker, since I'm at his house and we're just driving around a lot yesterday, I said, a lot of people that I deal with in coaching right now, they want results, but they don't really like to do a lot of labor work. So they like to outsmart the thing and do a lot of social media, which is great. At the same time, if we're going to looking for that growth in the summertime, we have to do as much marketing as possible. We have to fish with a net and not just with a line. So I'm trying to give you a lot of different ideas. So in addition to social media, door hangers. I know that's old style and it's a printed material, but nice thing about door hangers are going door to door with flyers. It's timely. You're doing a summer program. You get your information out. You can target the exact neighborhoods you want. I was at the Baker School. They have all this stuff piled up in boxes. They have 20,000 door hangers that they plan on doing in their neighborhoods. Here in Arizona, the houses are on 0 lot lines, so they're really close to each other. So it's not really hard to do. I imagine in Tennessee when the houses are half mile apart, it's a little bit different. So it may not be an idea for you, but if you're in like Neil is in South Florida where the houses are close together, door hangers that are going door to door is something that's very easy to do. Again, the Bakers plan on doing 20,000. So that's kind of massive, and that's all around their area. They're in a very populated area. I already talked about Bakers having a window sign. So they have a window sign saying enrolling summer students now, which may seem like a crazy thing because we enroll students all year long, but people don't know that. So people who would think about kids doing maybe gymnastics, maybe they do dance, they're used to kids taking summer off. So you have to tell them that in martial arts, you are open summertime. In fact, we're enrolling students right now. So like, Neil is in a very popular area. People go by his school all the time, and he can have a table out front. So just having a table with some cards and a big banner now enrolling for summer students, people are going to stop and ask about that. Everyone here has been kind of with Rainmaker or me for a while. You know the importance of doing fun themes in summertime. Some people think it's kind of crazy to have a week where kids can just have crazy hair, but it's a fun factor for the kids. So if a kid's on the fence of, well, I want to go to martial arts or not, well, this week we're doing crazy hair day, so it's more fun for them to come. At the same time, it's easier to invite friends. Imagine 2 10-year-old kids playing together, and all of a sudden comes some martial arts time. The kid goes, I got to do martial arts. Want to come with me? He goes, nah, I don't know how to do martial arts. Well, we're having this say we're going to make ice cream Sundays after class. Oh, really? Okay, now you have a fun factor. So as silly as they may seem, having fun factors where you'll do colored socks, red, white, and blue for 4th of July. You're doing ice cream days. You're doing water war days. You have a theme for the week. It is fun. It's for the kids. That's going to keep them more active in the summertime. Again, it's easier to bring in friends. We talked about door hangers, rack cards. Doing rack cards where if you're doing a summer camp, maybe you have the summer camp on one side and you have your summer course on the other. If you don't already have rack cards in 100 locations, I would suggest you do that now. One of the things I saw the Baker kids do out here in Arizona the last couple of days is they were hitting dentists. So they're going to dentist's office, putting in the rack cards in dentist's office. At the same time, they tell the dentist, we have 400 families. That's a lot of kids. And they're always looking for different places. If you have your business cards and want me to put them out in my place, this way we can work together. In fact, we can even give you cards for free classes. So if a kid's really good in the dentist chair, you can give them a gift of free martial arts classes. So they're building a relationship up with the different dentists on that. That's what they're doing. So the rack cards don't have to be only at pizza houses and only at Subways. Going to a doctor, dentist, real good idea. Rack cards, again, I think it's pretty easy to. Back in the days, a lot of people, I think he's still around, Jimmy Mack, have Jimmy Mack come up with 100 rack cards. I had Zach Siokas and his team come up and do mine in Arizona when I had my school a few years back. They did over 200 rack card locations in 2 days. So it can be done. Either you're getting really aggressive or you hire someone to do it. Booths. There's so many different events going on in summertime where you can do a booth. It's Memorial Day or 4th of July, Kids Safety Day. As many times as you get out with a booth, get belly to belly, nose to nose with someone, build a relationship. It's so much different than in social media. Social media, we get cold leads and warm leads. When you get to a booth and you have a chance to talk to the parents and ask them questions about any challenges they're having with the kids, and all of a sudden the kids being bullied, and you're talking about kids that you helped in the past who were bullied. I mean, there's nothing like that. I mean, you're building that relationship. Martial arts, as much as we want to say it's just a business, it is a business, but it's still personality driven. People like you, they trust you, they're going to spend more money with you, and they're going to stay with you longer. So booths is a good way to get out there. When I was driving around with Tommy, I said we went by a police station. He goes, oh, check this out. He says, we just made a co-op with the police station. I go, how'd you do that? He goes, well, the police station has a marketing department because they want to have a good image in the community. So they do a lot of booths. So there's a lot of communities out here. They'll set up a booth on the weekend. Maybe they're doing a food truck festival, so they'll have a booth there. And they were doing a booth side by side with Tom a couple times over a couple years. Tom went out there and started talking to the lady. She goes, well, we'd love to have you next to our booth all the time because our thing is to keep kids safe. Your thing is to keep kids safe. It'd be really nice. So anytime we have a booth opportunity, we're going to call you and see if you want to share part of our booth. That kind of blew my mind because I never even thought first that police stations had like a public relations department and you can actually team up with your police department like that. So again, another thing for a booth. Every door direct mail. If you don't have teens and you don't want to go out and hang out to door hangers, you can also do every door direct mail. That's a service from the post office. You can go on the United States Post Office. You can find the mail routes in your area, and you can actually pick the mail route that you want cards to be delivered. And when they deliver the cards, the EDDM, you can go up to like 8.5 by 11, so it's a full sheet of paper. It's kind of cardboard. On an EDDM card, it has to have like a EDDM stamp on it. So if you go to like to Get Students and you're talking to Mark, he's going, I want that postal mark on there. Then you go on the United States Postal Service and you pick the routes that you want to have delivered. And say there's a route that's going to a neighborhood, you know that neighborhood's pretty a big neighborhood. There's a lot of kids in there, people going to forge your martial arts, so you want to target that. And you see how many houses are on that route. So it says 300 houses. You count out 300 EDDM cards. You tie them with a string. You put the number of that route on there. You pay for it online, go to the post office, you give them the stack of cards with the route number, and they deliver the cards for you. You do have to pay for the cards, but delivery, I believe, is still 18 cents. So that really beats a stamp of 55-cent stamp. So it becomes affordable. Outgoing phone calls. Call people that are on your list. If you have all your prospects in Rainmaker, you probably have 200, 1,000. I know William Pierce says, I think 20,000 people in his prospect file now. Get on the phone. You have nothing to do in the afternoon. You're sitting around your school going, I wish I had more students. Pick up the phone, or have your office manager pick up the phone, call 30 people. Tell them about your summer safety course you're having. Tell them about your summer program, your $29.95 per week. Again, when you do calls, we find that not everyone answers their phone, of course, but people do get anywhere from 1% to 5% of people that they call to actually make an appointment. So it's not a waste of time. It's just something you should be doing consistently. I have a friend up in Vancouver, British Columbia, Johnny Ahmed, and he just hated doing calls. He just thought it was a waste of time. He had a woman who was coming in every day to clean the school. She'd wash the mirrors, she'd wash the floors. And I go, Johnny, why don't you train her to do outgoing calls, have her stay another half hour. She's not cleaning, she's doing outgoing calls. She started doing 30 calls a day, and he was making like 15, 20, 25 appointments from her because she'd make one appointment a day, and that was great. And so he just trained the person who was actually cleaning his school. She was a woman, she had a real thick British accent. But people really responded to her. So, you can always find a way to get things done. Next on my list, summer safety program. It's getting towards summer. Kids are off. Some kids are just kind of home alone, and parents are worried about their safety. When kids are out there walking, it's not like in the schoolyard where they have a school teacher for safety. They're on their own. Kids on a bicycle, they could be abducted. So it's a great time to have a safety program. With a safety program, it's very easy to tie in with your community. So if you told the fire department you're doing a summer safety program for all your students and their friends, and it'd be really nice that the fire department can talk about having an escape route just in case these kids are home alone. The parents are working, something happens. So now the fire department is speaking for 10 or 15 minutes. You call the police department, ask the police department, I'm having an event. I've got 100 students, they're gonna bring in their friends. It'd be really nice if we had someone from the police department talking about summer safety, and if someone's going to be trying to abduct them or someone's coming to their door, what do they do if a stranger knocks on the door? Now you have, okay, East West Karate in conjunction with the Mesa Fire Department and Police Department is providing a summer safety class. You do it for 90 minutes, so you're creating your own mass intro. So now you have the summer safety class, you can make it fun. I remember we did this in Florida one time, and I had a guy bring in a climbing wall. So we had the fire department brought a fire truck. We had a police cruiser out in front, and we had a climbing wall. People came in, they took the event. We had some food for them. They did the climbing wall. So it's just a great way to grab some attention to your area. And the last thing is we used to do park classes or classes outside, and I'm kind of looking at Neil right down from Neil's school. They have like a amphitheater outside. If he did a class down by that amphitheater, people would just stop and start looking at it. So we got a booth, one of those 10 by 10 booths. I would set that up, I put a table there, I put all my stuff on it. We'd start a class, people would come over and watch it, and all of a sudden now we're out there getting some publicity, getting a chance to talk to people. So I'm sure there's a lot more ideas. The important thing is I was just listening to Tom Baker talk to Charles Jarnigan, and he goes, if you're looking to get 25 students, I want you to get at least 12 things for marketing. So 12 is a lot, but I'm going to go above and beyond because, again, in the summertime, I don't want to be fishing for fish with a line. I want to be going for net. So this is just things to add to your net. Anyone have any other ideas about marketing, things that they want to share from the past? Cool. Mr. Brown, anything to add?
One thing we've done is we have a lot of space, so we take banners to separate our classes. So we'll take a 4x10 banner, but we'll go in and ask a jewelry store to sponsor it. So we've got a jewelry store on one of them, or we've got an inflatable company, bouncy house company on one, or we've got a dentist or an eye doctor. So with these banners, that's separating the children from seeing what's going on in the class beside them, but it's also marketing. And then I have all of these, like you already told us to do, take these business cards in, and they love handing them out because it's just cross-marketing. So
excellent.
That was an idea that we've used to help make it a little bit nicer and friendlier when we're trying to separate classes.
Again, anytime you're working with your community and you're building relationships with different companies, there's always ways to cross-market on that. Dave, do we overwhelm your son?
I hope not.
All right.
No.
Hey, Dalton, since I've got you there, what are you reading now?
What am I reading?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, for self-education. You know, it's like I know you just joined the school, and you know we talked about this when we did. We're out in William Pierce's school, and Zach Siokas was talking about adding people to the team. When we add people to the team, they're always really enthusiastic, but sometimes they need some education to fit in that position. So, are you doing anything for personal development or reading right now?
I'm not. No.
Okay. Since you're going to be, I just got this from Tom Baker, who's suggesting this to Charles. You know, if you're thinking about doing any one of these things where you have to talk to people in the community, you're talking about doing rec cards and talking to people, getting a book like, How to Win Friends. Yeah, How to Win Friends and Influence People. that'd be a great read right now because it's talking to you about breaking the ice and talking to people, figuring out their personalities, determining how you have to be to get them to cooperate with you and let you do rack cards. That might be a great book. But everyone should be on some type of self-education. When I had my school in Florida, Paul Garcia and I were the main guys on the mat. And we would always read the same book and talk about it in the morning. So at one time, we were reading two different books. I was reading Over the Top, and he was reading See You at the Top. And we do a chapter day. I would tell him what I read in my chapter. He would tell me what he read in his chapter. But it was just self-education. It was keeping each one accountable. Because if we're going to talk, and he goes, and I'm the leader, I'm the school owner, I had to do my reading. Because I couldn't say, hey, Paul, well, I didn't do my stuff last night. So if I was going to keep him accountable, it made me do that. So that's kind of a fun one. Kai Blackstar was one of my instructors down in Florida. We had like 6,000 square feet, and he used to vacuum the place every morning. I bought him a tape player and headset, and while he was vacuuming, he would always listen to tapes. Tony Robbins was his favorite. So while he was working, he was self-educating. So I think it's really important that in martial arts that you do some type of self-education. The Bakers have 3 kids. 2 have now been certified for John Maxwell speakers, and both have been certified for Zig Ziglar speakers. So these are guys, early 30s, late 20s. But the important thing is they're martial artists, but they're really doing the personal development part because the higher and more educated they become in the different part of business and helping people, they're better going to be at running the martial arts school.
I have a book, sir, that I'm reading now. It's pretty good for the whole group. Actually, I heard about it from Brandon Belizzo. I was just listening to him like 1 week back, and he was talking about Profit First. And so I got the book. It's called Profit First on Audible. And he talks about how generally we as business owners, we take profit last, right? And so it's a new concept where, okay, I'm going to take the profit first. So I'm going to get with my bookkeeper and start working on that so that profit is always first instead of last,
Excellent.
So that's a good book.
I thought you were going to recommend your book.
Oh, well, yes, that too. So I can say a little bit about that. I think we as martial artists or business owners, I think we need to look at martial arts differently. I look at it like an education. And so I think when I bring it up to the parents, they look at me like, that's a good idea. That's great. But most people don't look at it that way. But I do somehow influence some people to think like it. And the book is called Black Belt: The Winning Edge. It's on Amazon.
All right, guys, good stuff. Tomorrow it'll be myself and William Pierce will be on at 12 o'clock to around 12:30. I don't know what the subject is, but it's always good when we get William out there. He has a little bit different point of view sometimes, and I really like that because if people aren't thinking, they're all thinking the same, someone's not thinking, so it's good to get different points of views. Okay, everyone. Welcome, Mike. Thanks for coming back.
Thank you.
I will record this if you want to share it with your staff or something. I'll put it on the Rainmaker Business Solutions site in about 30 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Mm-hmm.